Hi, I'm Scott Edward Phelps from SEP Daytime.
And I'm Norm Short from In Touch with Delmarva.
Two shows familiar to thousands of faithful listeners of Delmarva Broadcasting Company stations. In addition to our other contributions to the DBC success story, both Norm and I have had the privilege and pleasure of frequent guest hosting on Delaware 105.9, Delaware's home for News Talk Radio.
Right now, we'd like to take a couple of minutes and introduce you to a new show we believe is the perfect fit for the afternoon drive on 105.9.
The SEP-NORM Show with Scott Edward Phelps and Norm Short.
Catchy, huh?
The SEP-NORM Show features everything that Delmarva listeners have come to expect from Delaware 105.9. Timely topics of interest to area listeners, information and news our listeners can use, and of course, the real stars of any talk radio show, the callers.
All kinds of callers, all kinds of calls, all kinds of talk radio moments to remember.
Here's just a few of the folks who have shared their thoughts with Norm or me or the two of us together. It's not $750 a month, it's $750 a year, right?
Year, which is...
Yeah, it's a tank of gas a month, basically.
Right, no, but it's just enough to get you maybe over that next tax increase of your base tax. You're paying this much tax now, but you get $50 more, you're going to have to pay that much tax.
Yeah.
This is my kind of teacher.
So they're dangling it in front of you, and then when you grab hold of it, they're yanking it back. It's like the State Farm insurance fisherman with the,
Right, and it makes you go, why don't you do something more intelligent? Why don't you give every state employee tax break on their income tax?
All right. Now, Cindy, you know where you went wrong there. You had me. You had me all the way. And then we're talking state government, and you heard the word that you just used? Did you hear the word that you just... Yeah, you said the I word, didn't you? You said intelligent, didn't you? Why don't they do the intelligent thing?
Yeah.
How about it, Harrington? 839-1059. The question stands. You want to weigh in on this? The question is, you guys made the top 10 of the most stressful towns in Delaware, so we're asking, what's up with that? Bob's checking in this afternoon from Milford and wants to address the stress. Hey, Bob.
Norm.
Yes, sir.
It's a Harringtonian, not a Harringtonite.
Can I put this in a Trump context for you?
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's Harringtonian. I'm saying people are saying that it's Harringtonian. Yeah. And it's a terrific town. People tell me it's a terrific town.
You're not going to do that again, I hope.
839-1059.
And just like our caller listener friends, the SEP-NORM Show is not just the same old, same old. We talk headline stories, we talk politics, religion, health issues. We welcome guests from all professions and all walks of life.
Kardashians, is that narcissism or just modern showbiz marketing?
It's probably a little bit of both, but there is definitely some narcissism involved there. At the very least, this huge emphasis on image over substance.
Yeah, well, with the Kardashians, there is no substance.
Exactly.
209 nonprofits in Delaware signed up for a one-day event. It started at midnight and ended at midnight. That was a 24-hour period. The goal of the day was to encourage gifts to come in. We were able to get 88 unique individuals to provide a gift.
Over $3,600, over 88 gifts, and in a 24-hour period, you can't do better than that. That's fantastic work. Jim, congratulations to you, man.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Thanks for having me on.
Wow. How about that?
You got to love an organization letting them people a hand up as opposed to a handout.
Did you hear the question that I posed here at the top
I
of the hour?
did, and I will answer the following way.
Okay.
Yes, I call it above the ditch and below the ditch. Upstate is definitely different than downstate in a lot of manners.
I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm just asking questions as a devil's advocate. Do you think the sense of divisiveness of upstate, downstate is on the increase, or is it just kind of what it's always been? Where do you think it stands in the year 2016?
In 93, when I first got down here, Route 1 was under reconstruction, but there weren't a lot of restaurants. The outlets were open, but there weren't a lot of outlets. And in Rehoboth, Labor Day weekend, you could see the tumbleweeds come down the street on Tuesday.
Right.
That's true.
We don't have that anymore. As people move down here and retire here from other locations, I find that they start to assimilate into what we call the slower Delaware. It's more relaxed. The weekends now start on Thursday, if not late Wednesday night,
like radio.
and run till Tuesday. And so the only day you can try and cross Route 1 is Tuesday.
The comedy stylings of John Brady, everybody. And in the year 2016, with so many options available to listeners, we believe that radio is as much about being engaging and entertaining as it is informative and educational. That's why we like to say that the SEP-NORM Show is talk radio redefined.
Check it out.
You know when we really went down the wrong road is when we started with this word African American.
As opposed to American.
Opposed to American. We weren't Italy American.
Well, you know what? I'm like Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. When they asked him what his nationality was, he said, I'm a drunkard.
Well, guess what? I is a drunkard.
Yeah!
I used to work for a woman who was not a man and was not a woman, DNA-wise, okay?
Okay. There are some people in the conservative news organizations who would actually have a definition for you of this woman who was not a woman and not a man. The literal definition would be Hillary Clinton. Oh, rain, go away. We're not going to let old Hurricane Bob stop us from this. And forget about Bob. Bob can't... And you know what immediately clued me to the fact that there was a lot of stoners going to the festival?
What?
It was Hurricane Bill. Entertaining, engaging, informative, educational.
I hope the listeners are listening and turn your radios up. You make a lot of sense. You've got people and you get them thinking, not what you think they want to hear, but you bring it across, makes a lot of sense. Maybe I should look on both sides. Maybe I'm one-sided here. And that's why I listen to you.
I just want to compliment your show, and you are excellent. You do on here. Bring a lot of knowledge out to the people and very helpful to everybody.
A show that's serious when it needs to be.
I will work door to door for somebody who will run for president of the United States who will say, I'm going to get tough and I'm going to get things done and I'm going to make it happen, but I am not going to tolerate hatred. I am not going to tolerate venom and viciousness. I am not going to tolerate bigotry and prejudice. I am not. Because that is not what this country used to be. I'm not always right.
No.
But I'm right about this.
A show that's just good fun whenever it can be.
And my 2 dogs will be listening.
And most importantly, and always, a show that is all about the listeners and the callers, our friends.
The thousands of friends who already know us, who listen to us and take part in what Norm and I have to offer them each and every show. Add in the thousands of listeners and callers yet to discover us, and the potential in both listenership and sponsorship is, like that ad says about all those discoveries in Delaware, endless. The SEP-NORM Show. Good to go.
Weekday afternoons from 4 to 7.
On Delaware 105.9.
You're right about something. You said something. Here again, I just love listening to you.
I just had to say, hip, hip, hooray. I loved your little commentary a few minutes ago.
I'm a long-time listener. It's great to hear your show. I'm really amazed. I'm sitting here on my terrace, and I am really enjoying my conversation with the radio because I have to talk back to the radio. But listening to you, it's like a breath of fresh air.